Are sexual relations before marriage wrong? 1 Thessalonians, which is 1 Thessalonians, as you may know. Chapter 4, verses 3 to 8. For this is the will of Yâ-hwéh for your purification, and you to abstain from all fornication, and each of you to discern that his own vessel is to be obtained by purification and valour, and not in the passion of lust, just as also the heathen masses will do, not acknowledge Yâ-hwéh, because disclosure 15:4, which you know as Revelations 15:4, and not to overreach, and to take advantage of his brother in any business, or on the very account that Yâ-hwéh is the avenger about all these things, just as we told you before and fully testified. Deuteronomy 32:35. For Yâ-hwéh did not call us to uncleanness, rather into purification, so that he who rejects this will rejects not a man, instead Yâ-hwéh, who also grants his pure spirit unto us. Fornication, taking from the Strong's G42, 4202. Original, I can't read, because it's in Greek, and I don't understand Greek. Transliteration is porneia. Isn't it strange? Porneia. It sounds much like pornography, doesn't it? The phonetic is porneia. Their definition: illicit sexual intercourse, adultery, fornication, homosexuality, lesbianism, intercourse with animals, etc. Sexual intercourse with very close relatives, Leviticus 18. Sexual intercourse with a divorced man or woman, seen 41:10-11. Oh, Mark 41:10 and 11. Oh no, yeah, 10:11. 41:10-12. Oh, chapter 41 verses 10 and 12, and Mark 10:12. Metaphorically, the worship of idols, or the defilement of adultery, as incurred by eating the sacrifice offered to idols. Origin from D 4203. Parts of speech: noun, feminine. Strong's definition from G4203. Harlotry, including adultery and incest. Figuratively, adultery, fornication. So fornication is in relation to acts of sexual deviancy. With this comes no place for anyone in heaven. Ephesians, or Ephesians 5:5. For this ye should know that every male, whore, or unclean person, or covetous person, who is an image worshipper, does not have an inheritance with the kingdom of the anointed and the power. But it does say that in the past you have made if you have made this mistake, because repentance cleans you of these past sins. But it must be to truly follow in righteousness, because he who have been washed clean does not of free will of right come to continue in sin, but cease that way of life and remain free from it. You know Christ, Yâhwéh, comes to give hope to the hopeless and life to the condemned, salvation to the sinners, and to fulfill the law through love to rule all. 1 Corinthians 6:9-11. Or don't you understand that unjust ones shall not inherit the kingdom of Yâhwéh? Do not be misled. Neither male whores, nor image worshippers, nor adulterers, nor effeminate men, nor males who lie with males as if women. Seen in Shinoka 96:9-16, Leviticus 18:22 and 20:13. Romans 1:25-27, and 1 Keph 2:6, which is 1 Peter 2:6. Nor thieves, nor avaricious, Nor avaricious ones, nor drunkards, nor revellers, nor robbers shall inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. Though some of you were these things, nevertheless ye were washed, nevertheless ye were purified, nevertheless ye were justified within the name of Yahweh, Yahushua, the Deliverer, and by the Spirit of our mighty ones. Even we, keeping with this practice, we are also to marry, and do so with the opposite sex, man and woman. For marriage is spiritually from Yahweh. But being married can be remaining with one partner, and being married to a equally yoked person of the opposite sex in the eyes of Yahweh. And by a paper also is not wrong. But giving oneself to multiple partners is, I will include a link that explains this in full detail at the end of this video. I have a positive thought that Yahweh had given me this understanding, but due to no confirmation until recently, I was really uncertain if I'd heard right. To the Romans, or Romans 1:24-27. Wherefore Yahweh also gave them up unto uncleanness, by the desires of their hearts, for their bodies to be depreciated by them, exchanging the truth for the lie. Exchanging the truth for the lie, heading point 5. Who exchanged the truth of Yahweh for the lie, have reverenced and served the created thing beyond the Creator, who is blessed into the ages. Amen. Shanoka 107:7-8, Songs 140:10, which you know as Psalms, Yirmiyahu 2:11, which you know as Joshua, and Hosea 4:6-7. For this reason Yahweh released them to passions of dishonour, for both their females exchanged the instinctive intercourse for that against instinct, and likewise all the males, abandoning the instinctive intercourse of the female, were inflamed in their lust towards one another, males with males committing to do indecency together, and receiving within themselves the recompense that their defiance required. Shanoka 96:9-16, Leviticus 18:22 and 20:13, 1 Corinthians, which is 1 Corinthians 6:9-2, and Peter 2:6, or Keph 2:6, 1 Timothy, which is 1 Timothy 1:9-11, discerning this, that the law shall not be applied against the righteous one, but rather against those lawless and insubordinate, irrelevant and sinful, against those impure and heathenish ones, against father murderers and mother murderers, against murderers of men, male whores, men who lie with men as if with women, enslavers of sons of freedom, liars, perjurers, and if any other thing is opposed to sound instruction, according to the glad tidings of the worth of the supremely blessed mighty ones, with which I was entrusted. Yâ-hwéh, Jude 1:17. As Sodom and Amorah and the cities around them, which are Sodom and Amorah, and means Sodom and Gomorrah, and the cities around them with a similar lifestyle to these, having given themselves over to fornication and having followed behind alternative flesh, they are set forth as an example, having undergone the penalty of fire of the endless one. Genesis 19:4-5 and 24-25. 19:4. Before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, both old and young, all the people from every part sounded the house. 19:5. And they called to Lot and said to him, Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us and let us know them. Genesis 19:24. And Yahweh rained sulfur and fire on Sodom and Amorah from Yahweh out of the heavens. Genesis 19:25. So he overthrew those cities, and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and what grew on the ground. So we are to marry man and woman, not sleep with relatives, not have sex with animals, and the married. 1 Corinthians 7:2-3. But due to fornication, let each man have his own woman, and let each female have her own husband. Let the husband render to the woman the obligatory kindness, and likewise also the woman to her husband. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your inconsistency. But I speak this by permission, and not of commandment. For I would that all men were even as I myself, but every man have proper gift of Yâ-hwéh, one after this manner, and another after that. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I, but if they cannot contain, let me marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. You can live unmarried, but it is a gift. If you don't have the gift, don't force yourself, because you will burn in the lust. To live unmarried and with no feelings for a woman is a gift given to very rare men. Because Paul knows the power of lust, because the devil is dominating through lust more than anything. So marriage is necessary to avoid lust. If you don't have the gift of singleness, many have claimed to be okay, then next minute they find themselves addicted to pornography. Yes, and it is a spirit, because there is a connection between the eyes and the soul. So yes, spiritually in the eyes of Yâ-hwéh, with one woman, and that one woman only, as a married couple. But for it to be acceptable, you must be following and worshipping by his name. So it is seen as good in Yâ-hwéh's eyes. So I'm not here to argue about the laws, but share what I have come to understand and have confirmation to. I'll provide a link to a page that speaks more about marriage in the eyes of Yâ-hwéh. So thank you for watching this video, and Yâ-hwéh bless.